On the third day, God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees that bear fruit, according to their various kinds." And it was so. And God saw that it was good.
Welcome to the program on the third day. We have with us Priyanka Parab, a recent graduate in agriculture from the Don Bosco College of Agriculture, who will be telling us a little bit more about plants and how we can convert a small space that we may have in the balcony or on the open terrace into a garden that could provide us with herbs, with greens, with coriander, with chilies for the kitchen. Even as a student, she has experience in teaching the special children of Sanjay School on how to grow vegetables. She has been doing demonstrations around Goa, and she is a person who has both in her sports, she has represented the college in handball and has captained the table tennis team, has been a writer, and has been always involved in promoting horticulture, that's growing of vegetables, fruits and spices. So welcome Priyanka. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about the work you have been doing in demonstrating the art of kitchen gardening and organic vegetable gardening?
Yes, for the last 2 months I have been intern with Botanical Society of Goa. So under them I have conducted around, I have been visiting around 40 schools all over Goa. So I have been demonstrating the school students about kitchen gardening, how they can grow their own fruits and vegetables in their backyard or even utilizing their balcony or terrace area. I have been even given demonstration on self-irrigating pots. Even if you are not in your house when you are going for some vacations and you still want your plants to grow without any much care, and you don't have to worry about your plants, about irrigation or some things to be added for your plants, then even that can be done using your self-irrigating pots. Then I have even been doing grafting. That is much more interesting for the school children because it is something like they like to do, because it's something different they know about plants. Because here in grafting what we do is we try to incorporate different colors in one single plant. Like hibiscus, we can go for different colors in one single plant. So these are some of the topics I have been covering. Even composting was one of my topic in demonstration, because that is one of the important fact we have to look for, because the kitchen waste that we are generating every day contributes 60% of our garbage. So if we try to reduce that into a compost and use them for our plants, it will be a good idea for our community and reduce that garbage havoc that we are creating every day. So that was my another topic when I have been visiting the schools. Yes.
This composting, you have done a demonstration for some institution?
Yes, I have done it for Kandola Government College of Kandola. So there I have set up one composting unit for their college, and even one of their students had won one scholarship under government to implant something for their village. So I have done another composting pit for that student also. So there are around 2 composting pits that I have already installed by my supervision.
That is very nice. You have one composting unit at the college itself where the other students can learn, and one of the students has been showing it to her fellow villagers close by. That's really great. You spoke about self-irrigating pots. How does that actually happen?
Yes, self-irrigating pots, like we use our PET bottles, like usually our soft drink bottles or water bottles, which after one use we just try to throw them out in our dustbins. So what we can do is we can just reuse them and cut them in 2 parts and use them as a self-irrigating pot. Here the only principle works is a capillary action. So we just need a cutter, a thermocol cutter, or any cotton wick that can absorb water. So in using all these materials, we can go for a self-irrigating pot, which we'll be doing for a later series in this sessions.
Okay. So the self-irrigating pot is something that you can set up and it waters the plants by itself for about 10-15 days.
Yeah, even when you're for vacation, you don't have to worry about your plants.
Now, you have spoken about growing of plants. Where did you actually learn some of these things, composting and other things in agriculture?
Yeah, so I have done my BSc in agriculture in Don Bosco College of Agriculture. So it's a 4-year course. So in that course we have to study or field visits or go hands-on training, study in labs. So all those practicals we have done. So under our practical session we learn how to grow our plants, how to do grafting, how to go for composting. So we have different subjects like soil science, like horticulture, like in that we have sub-subjects like floriculture, then pomology, where we study different aspects of growing crops. Like in pomology we study fruit crops, in floriculture we go for flowering crops or ornamental plants. Then in soil science we study about the soil constituents, how to go for composting, what are the nutrients or the micronutrients that a plant requires. So all these subjects help us to, help me a lot to go for practical session when I'm training some other youths or students in agriculture field.
Okay, so you use all chemical fertilizers and insecticides and herbicides and such things in your cultivation?
No, because our college is promoting organic agriculture, we have not been into chemicals. We have always tried to use something that is organic or that is come from natural herbs or plants extract. So we have gone for organic cultivation, and even when I'm doing my demonstration around in Goa, especially in schools or even training adults in some fairs like Panchacha fairs or even having some training under agriculture experts. So I always go for organic because that is something we require in these days, because chemical is something that is creating a major problem in our health system. So we have to avoid those chemicals. So I'm going for organic chemicals or the substitutes that can help our plants to grow. So I'm avoiding the chemicals, fertilizer or pesticides that are used usually to grow our crops.
So the practices that you're actually promoting for kitchen gardening, growing of vegetables, herbs are organic,
Yes.
and using compost which will reduce the garbage that would be around. And that's something that would be very good for people of Goa, because garbage is a big problem here,
Yes.
waste plastic is a big problem here, and most of our vegetables come from other states.
Yes.
So all these things you can help to reduce. That's very good. But how did you get the love of plants? Why you not go for engineering or medicine or architecture or pharmacy? What made you go for agriculture?
Yeah, my mother is a very much into flowering crops. Like she likes flowers much. So when I was a small kid, I used to be with my mother, and she used to love her plants very much. So that liking has come from her.
You used to help her also in doing a
Yes.
little bit of gardening?
Yes. So I used to help my mother to do potting or to select some plants or to try to propagate her plants or divide her plants. So that helped me to get that liking for plants, like especially for flowering plants. So I liked ornamental plants and flowers. So I'm into it. So I want to grow into the agriculture field, going towards organic and grow my own crops.
Right. So I think in what you have said, your life itself is a message. When parents involve their children in doing things that they would like their children to do later in life, then a simple way of helping the parents to do maybe gardening or marketing or something, it enthuses them to do the things.
Yes.
Yes. Any particular exhibition or anything that you have been involved with to train students to bring out their best?
Yes, recently plant festival was held in Shoalin. So for that, every year they have different competitions or different theme that they
And
they
you have
choose.
been there before also for the exhibition?
Yes, I have been there before, but this year I have been training the students on how to prepare a self-irrigating pot, how to do composting, and that was their theme for this year, biodiversity and composting. So students have to prepare different projects on that particular topic. So I have given them the information, have demonstrated how a composting can be done by using different methods. So even there was a competition for them where they can do a self-irrigating pot using innovative ways, and there was a competition for the students. So there were various ideas that small kids have put their efforts, and they have developed a very good structures of self-irrigating pots. So that was a very good festival. Even we had conducted a Panchacha fest. So it was a festival where all the adults and youths come together. So even there I have done a demonstration on grafting and potting. So even the adults should know how they can propagate their plants using such techniques.
Okay. I think quite a few people are interested, especially in mango grafts. They have some mango variety which they want to keep.
Yeah.
Can they pick up skills through such demonstrations?
Yes, I'll be doing a demonstration on mango grafting, hibiscus grafting, so even rose budding, so which helps the adults to develop their liking towards growing for plants or doing their own grafts at home. So even one can develop its own nursery when they learn such kind of techniques at their at their basic levels.
Okay. And you also help them if they want to do hands-on, you help them to practice or something?
Yes, I usually take more than 10 plants so that they can learn along with me and do along with me. So if they have any difficulty, they can approach me there itself.
Okay, so they can practice how to do grafting and actually pick up the skill. When they go home, they can practice a little bit more and do the grafting. Yeah, that is good. Now, you have also been, I think, to Diwar and other places to promote these things. Any particular thing about your experience?
Yeah, in Diwar, they have a special village called Amboy where they have a variety of mangoes, which a village has all the varieties of mangoes, and it's a village full of mango trees. So all those the old age people who are there, the people who have
Many years back.
many years
Okay.
back ago, they have been in grafting, they have been in propagation of mango plants. So it was a new program for them where they were involving their youth to do it. So they have called me as a expertise to do the grafting demonstration for their village people, so that they can retain their culture of grafting and mango cultivation in their village. So it was a good experience for me where I can see the entire village full of mango trees and the grafting process they had been carried forward for so many years.
Yeah, and in Amboy, there was someone who was doing also, I think so, grafting on big trees.
Yes.
Yes.
There was a old fellow who was doing grafting on the big trees, climbing on trees and doing his graft of the desired varieties.
Okay.
So his experience also was good to know, like the liking of it, the habit of him doing the grafting on the big trees is very much difficult nowadays. So we try to adopt the different techniques like epicotyl grafting or softwood grafting, where we can do the grafting on small seedling itself. But the grafting he was doing, it's something that is rare now we can find out.
Now, suppose someone has a small terrace somewhere. Is it possible for one person or two persons to convert that into a garden, and how you could go about it?
Yes. So even if you don't have a ground area and still want you to grow your vegetables or flowers in your balcony or even on your terrace, it's very much easy because you can utilize your vertical space and go for vertical gardening. Just use your PET bottles, your water bottles, or even your worn-out containers of your household, and you can grow your vegetables in your house using your self-irrigating pots or your bottles. Stack them in a vertical line and go for vertical gardening. Even you can grow all your vegetables, even your fruit crops like your sapotas, mangoes, lemons, all your fruit crops, drumstick can be grown on your terrace. So everything is possible if you want to go for your kitchen gardening or even to beautify your terrace area by growing your vegetables or fruits over it.
For fruit plants, how would you grow it? You can't grow them in bottles and such things.
No. So food plants we can go for some big drum, or we can utilize pots according to its size. So usually for the food crops we select a pot of around 14 to 24 inches depth, so it can hold the length of the plant. So the fruit plants usually go above 1 meter. So accordingly we can select a pot depending upon the height of the plant and the root system.
Okay. So fruit plants is something that you can grow. Spices, are there any spices that you can grow other than coriander in a pot?
Yes, even spices we can grow, like we can train a cinnamon plant onto a pot. Even we can have spices, even bush pepper we can go for.
Bush pepper, okay.
Yes. Then we can have cloves even, but that is depending on the type of climate you have or the type of sunlight you are receiving. We can have that plant also. Even a turmeric can be grown using a
pot,
trays.
okay, a tray,
Yeah.
okay. So turmeric, ginger, possibly
Yes.
you can grow, and
Even your rhizome crops like ginger.
any possibility for things like spring onion sometimes we use, and coriander.
Yes,
and
even your spring onions, your garlics, all your leafy vegetable you can grow on your terrace
Okay.
using your half-round pipes. If you have a water channel to go out your water to drain your rainwater, even that is possible if you want to grow your leafy vegetables also.
Okay, so leafy vegetables, salad greens,
Yes.
some things, and spices, herbs.
Yeah.
Then if you can grow also spring onions, I think quite a lot of the things that we can use in the kitchen, what we need on a daily basis, we can grow ourselves.
Yeah.
That would be a very good thing. And what age is right for people to learn this thing? Is there any particular age group that is best, or
No.
what?
For gardening or for agriculture or doing plants, growing your plants, I don't think there is any specified age one should look for. Even a small kid can do gardening, water her plants, so why not an adult can do it? So I don't think there is any specified age for doing your plants or growing your plants in your garden or having your or growing your old fruits or vegetable in your own vicinity itself. So even a kid can go for playing in mud and growing a vegetable or trying to grow some plants, then why not? Everyone can do it. It's very, it's a need of that one has to do a kitchen gardening and have their own fruits and vegetable at home.
Suppose a person has a balcony, say 2 meters by 3 meters in size.
Yes.
What are the things you would look at, and what are the things you would suggest to such a person in terms of growing for the kitchen?
So if you have a area like 2 by 3 meters size, then you can go for a daily vegetable you require like chilies or tomatoes. You can grow in pots, or even you can stake a vertical pane or a vertical panel and grow your vegetables in a vertical gardening system.
Okay.
So even that is possible to you can utilize that small space to grow all the varieties of vegetables like leafy vegetable you can grow. Even you can put some half-round pipes and stack one above the other and grow all your leafy vegetables. Even your bulb crops like your onions or garlics, then your rhizomes like your gingers and turmeric, those can be grown because they don't require a much deeper pot. They can be even grown on those half-round pipes.
Okay.
So you can even utilize that such a small area to grow an array of vegetables or fruits, or even your herbs can be grown like mints, then your basils can be grown. So all the possibilities are there. You just need to have that liking towards plant and that concern about your food to grow for organic and to have something that is not involved in chemical base, because the food that we get from the outside state is basically grown on chemical pesticides and fertilizers. We need to avoid that. If we go for our own cultivation of fruits and vegetables, it will be much more healthier and much more we're looking towards our future if we do avoid those chemicals in our lives.
Now, always when you want to do gardening, we are looking at soil. Now, where to get the soil from, and is there any alternative, or what exactly we can do in terms of growing plants for the medium?
Yes. Suppose you are staying in an apartment and don't have an area, and you are trying to utilize your vertical, a wall or something like that, a vertical space. So you need to have a media that is light in weight, like coco pit. Coco pit is a coir which is remain out after using, preparing the coir
Ropes
ropes.
and okay.
Yeah. So we can utilize that coco pit because it is light in weight and it has all the nutrients as the soil has. So it is not a problem if you are using a coco pit. Even if you don't have a soil media, you can't find the coco pit, then you can go for something like hydroponics or aeroponics. You can just utilize your water as a medium to grow your plants. So even such kind of systems are available to grow your own fruits and vegetables, especially leafy vegetables in your area, utilizing your just water as a medium.
So actually not finding uskechi mati is not really a problem.
No.
We can grow in other soil.
Yes.
And we can grow in coco pit, which is a good idea now.
Yeah.
Now all these things are good as ideas. Where do you get these things? Can you get them in Goa? Is there any shop, any place where you can buy these things?
Yes, especially in nurseries where they sell the agricultural products or plants, they have such kind of products like coco pit or even pot mix which you require to grow your plants.
And suppose there's an attack of insects on your vegetables, especially leafy vegetables in the rainy season, get a lot of insects making holes in the vegetables and also eating it from the sides. Now, if you are not going to use insecticide, how do you propose to control these things?
So
Is there any way to control it?
Yes, there are organic solutions for it. You can use your neem oil, 5 ml of neem oil in 1 liter of water and put some detergent. So that the solution you can apply for your leaf vegetables, especially for the vegetables which you are going to cook after, before consumption. So you can use neem oil over there. Then there are many fly traps that are available, sticky traps, which attracts the adult for a particular pest. So you can use yellow sticky trap, blue sticky traps. Then you can even use some entomopathogenic fungus like Bavaria bassiana, which just attack the plant insect body and help our plant to get rid of the pest. So there are various solutions for you if you are going towards organic. So you don't have to use your pesticides to protect your plant from any pest or other diseases also.
Okay, you can use some fungus to control insects?
Yes, that is Bavaria bassiana. That is an entomopathogenic fungus that sits on the insect body once you spray it, and it tries to grow onto the nutrients that are present on the insect body itself. So it will start multiplying on the insect body, and later on the insect will die over the consumption of the fungus.
Okay, so basically it's like a parasite onto that insect. Okay, so how do you actually use these things? You spray it on the plant, you have to find the insect and spray on it.
Yeah, so Bavaria bassiana, you can even find an insect and try to dip it into the solution and leave it. So the wings of the insect will get hardened, and when they meet the other opposite male or the female, that same thing gets transferred into their body, and they can spread the entire inoculum into their system.
Okay.
So we can even do that. We don't have to spray it also. If you are spraying it, then you have to make sure that you are trying to attack the same pest or the same plant wherever you have infestation.
Okay, that is good. And sometimes plants in the nursery, they get rotten. People raise seedlings, they get rot before transplanting. Or sometimes, especially brinjal, when it flowers, it suddenly starts dying. Is there any organic solution to such problems?
Yeah, so you can go for seed treatments if there are any soil-borne diseases or the pests which are attacking. So you can treat your seeds with trichoderma or rhizobium, which can help the seeds to gain their immune system better than if you're directly sowing them. So you can use your trichoderma, which helps the soils to fight against the pathogenic fungus or the disease that is going to attack on your seeds. So if you take care at the initial level, you are going to get a better results of your plants.
So you apply it to the seed or you apply it to the soil?
So you can apply it to your seeds as a seed treatment.
Okay.
Initially.
Okay, that is good. So thank you, Priyanka, for this wonderful introduction to what you plan to do. And I hope that in the weeks to come, we will be able to show to the people, our viewers, how actually you are going to do these self-irrigating pots, this vertical gardening, because all these are terms which are being thrown out, and also what this actually fungus and bacteria and all these things that we are talking about, they look like and how they are to be used. I think there is a great possibility for people in Goa to be growing vegetables at home.
Yeah, it's a big need.
Not treating their organic waste and kitchen waste as garbage, but treating it as an ingredient for making their own compost. Not needing to go to the shop to buy compost because they have it at home. Yeah. And also to use the plastic bottles after a party to make self-irrigating pots. Okay, so very wonderful thing, and I think if we can show how actually it is done, then many people can do it at home looking at that and possibly looking at the YouTube later on to revise and actually do it themselves. So thank you very much for coming here and sharing your time with us, and look forward to interacting with you in the weeks to come. Thank you.